Good day, HR 150 students. So this meeting is the continuation of our discussion in Unit 5. But before we continue, I think let us just run through quickly our first slide so that mas magandang konti yung transition ng ating discussion. So again, for your Unit 5 is all about employee benefits administration. In our previous discussion, we've already discussed no these three key pillars. So we have first is part of your total rewards or the total rewards. Your employee benefits also it enhances well-being, and the third pillar is support sustainability. Also, we've discussed no the different objectives and justification of benefits. One of which is, of course, your attraction, in order for you to compete, no, in a world where ang dami na nating ang stiff na ng competition, no, in winning top talents. Of course, second one is the retention, motivation. Third, fourth is the compliance, and of course, well-being. We've also run through the different government mandated benefits. So we have under the first category, we have the wage-related benefit. Another is your leave benefits, social protection system, and your special statutory entitlement. Also, this one, we have done discussing this thoroughly. Also, I have provided you a module wherein nakalagay naman na doon yung mga specifics ng category na to. I think this is where we're able to stop and dito po tayo mag-start with our discussion. So we have another category is your family benefits. Okay? So this slide covers family leave benefits. When we say with this category, this is the one of the most impactful benefit category in our labor law. No, so these leaves recognize that employees are not just workers; they are parents, their partners, and as well as caregivers. So our government provides specific paid leaves during major family events, acknowledging the importance of work-life balance and at the same time family welfare. So understanding these benefits is crucial because they directly affect recruitment or your talent acquisition, even the retention and the employee satisfaction, which of course it focuses on the employees and their families as well. So in our law, they recognize that employees, again, they are not just only workers or employees, but at the same time parents. So they come up with this benefit so that yun nga na-mention naman na natin that it helps or the company or the organization will able to help those workers to achieve yun nga work-life balance. So under this category we have maternity leave, expanded maternity leave. Comparing before, there is a significant difference between as to the number of days na ma-enjoy ng mom for this particular leave. Noon 60 to 75 days, ngayon it's 105. Basically, aabot pa ng 135K if you are going to spend all of those. So your maternity leave is under RA 11210. All mothers receive 105 days of full pay, typically divided into prenatal and postnatal days. Pero eto hindi na natin siya dinidistinguish. Basta binibigay na lang natin yung full benefit na 105 days. However, if you are a solo parent, you are able to enjoy additional 15 days. Okay, kung wala kang partner, wala kang asawa, you're able to get that. So most basically 120. Plus 30 days kung gusto mo pang mag-extend pero ngayong 30 days hindi na yun bayad. Okay? Pero if you would like to enjoy full payment, yun nga, 15 days plus 105 days. So again, this benefit includes job security as well as yung continuation ng benefit mo even if you are on leave. So for the context, if a mother earning 40,000 no per month, based from the computation of SSS, you will receive a certain or an equivalent for that. Okay, and even yun nga, your solo parent. Now, this benefit allows mothers to focus on recovery and at the same time take good care of the child. Okay, you are able to enjoy taking good care of your child without financial worry. We have also paternity leave, RA 8187. Ito naman is, of course, benefit for the fathers naman to. So fathers receive 7 days of full pay to support their partner and of course their unborn, okay? Or newborn, rather. So while shorter than maternity leave, this time is crucial for early child care, recovery support, and at the same time, father-child bonding. Ni 7 days, calendar days na. Okay, seven calendar days. So, including Saturday and Sunday. I have also solo parent leave. You have 7 days per year or annual. So, ito naman is under RA 11861. You just need to visit the SWD kasi sila yung mag-assess for you. They will give you requirements. You need to comply with that. And in turn, you will receive identification card, which your identification card, ibibigay mo yan sa organization or company mo, then you will receive 7 days leave. Now, your 7 days leave should be focused only for your child care, emergencies, medical appointment ng mga bata, school concerns, or other parental or parenting responsibility. Kung ikaw yung magli-leave for your personal or other related activity, hindi po pwedeng ito yung gamitin natin. Okay? So this benefit recognizes again the unique challenges faced by a single parent. So when we compare each of this length, as you can see dito sa baba ng slide natin, it's clearly makikita natin yung difference, no? From maternity alone, you'll have, or a female employee will enjoy 120 days. For paternity, 7 days. For solo parent, 7 days. And so on and so forth. So, what is the impact of this benefit in the organization? So, of course, for HR, and the part of HR, these leaves require planning and proper documentation. So, maternity leave specifically creates long absences, di ba? 120 days is not that short. That is 3 months, no? So, you need to back up, no? Sino yung po pwedeng papalit muna dun sa employee na magli-leave. So, you need to back up staffing and of course, workload planning are essential. No awan met iti extra nga employee, you could divide or yung division of labor, you could divide the workload to each of those employees na na andon sa department na yan. Then of course you need to pay, no? Doon sa mga um, binigyan mo ng extra pay for those who are able to receive extra work para naman hindi sila mabigatan masyado, no? So these policies may cost the organization, but they're also investment. So investment in the family or yung family-friendly benefit, wherein, of course, there is a human emotion involved. So it can improve loyalty and at the same time retention and overall yung employee morale. Okay, so in summary, maternity leave, paternity leave, and solo parent leave all demonstrates the government's commitment to family welfare and gender equality. So again, as future HR professional, your role is to administer these benefits accurately with empathy, ensuring employee feel supported during this important life transition. Um, before ako pumunta ng MMS, I've been holding or I've been into compensation administration. So, part of my job as a liaison pa slash officer is to process maternity leave pay sa SSS, mga ganun. So, part of you as future HR professional is yun nga, to administer, to process, okay, all the needs, all the requirements for this benefit. Okay. Next. So this is slide naman introduces social protection system where the government's safety nets that protects employees from financial risk like illness, injury, disability, retirement, and even housing needs. So these three institutions we have here, SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig, they are built on one principle. Yung principle na yan is shared contribution, shared protection. So again, as HR professional, your role is to compute, you remit, and communicate this benefit to your employee. Yan, ang dami-daming task din dito if you are going to man this area. So, if may announcement, may update, ikaw lahat. Okay? Task mo yan to disseminate those kind of information. Now, here, you need to make sure pag dinadakan mo sila ng contribution, you need to make sure na ire-remit mo yan. Kasi pag hindi, there will be penalty. So the main idea behind the system is collective responsibility, meaning there is an employee and employer who will contribute. So of course, no one faces major life crisis alone. So when someone retires, the SSS pension comes from years of shared contribution. When someone gets hospitalized, PhilHealth reduces their medical bills. And when they buy a home, Pag-ibig provides affordable financing. So it's not individual insurance, but it's society protecting everyone. Pero considering what we are experiencing right now is parang ang hirap. Especially PhilHealth. We're not able to enjoy, the benefits of a PhilHealth member pag member ka ng PhilHealth. Ang laki-laki ng deduction, pero pag ma-hospitalize ka, grabe, konti lang yung benefit. Tapos case-to-case basis pa. Okay, let's proceed first sa SSS. So we have here, what SSS are offering is, of course, retirement for disability and survivor protection. So SSS provides long-term income protection. It covers retirement, disability, and death benefits. Contributions from employer and employee accumulate over time and determine, of course, the pension at the age of 60 or at the age of 65. So beyond retirement, SSS supports members who become permanently disabled, and of course, no, nagsakit ka, while working, meron pa, aside from SSS, meron din pang ECC. Okay? If may namatay, so you'll receive that benefit, burial benefit, of course, for your survivor. Pension also po pwede din. As again, as an HR, your job is to compute contribution correctly, remit on time, and maintain accurate records. Kasi nagrigat no, mapanag payment, kasapulan di tao, ti or kasapulan ni employee DJ benefit nan ket haan temat nga hamot nga napintas DJ record hanga accurate, instead of you helping those who are in need, hindi na nagkakaroon ng problem. It will take them time to get what benefit ang dapat due sa kanila. Okay? So again, be responsible. Okay? So again, PhilHealth, it covers the health or it protects our health. So meron tayong sinasabi ni universal healthcare coverage. Yun nga, sinabi ko. Kanina ang laki-laki ng deduction pero parang, ay hindi parang, ang konti-konti nung magagamit mo, no? Pag magkasakit mo, hospital ka. Okay? So PhilHealth focuses on health protection. Employer and employee also share monthly contributions that help cover hospitalization, surgery, emergency care, and preventive services. Kaya nga siya insurance, for example, naghulog ka or you are regularly paying your contribution, January to December, walang absent, you haven't missed any single time na nagbayad. Tapos hindi mo na tinuloy, no, on the next year, wala kang magagamit. Kasi again, 1 year lang yung duration niya. So, you need to make sure, no, na continuous pa din yung payment mo so that if in case lang, meron kang gagamitin. So again, similarly with SSS, your rule as an HR is to remit contribution and make sure that your employee and their dependent updated yung information kasi ang hirap, no? And of course, part of our job is to enroll them. For example, they are new, wala pa silang SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and at the same time, teen. Part of our job also is to enroll them. Secure them a number. Okay? Then report to the payroll, siya na yung magdededuct kung ano or what kung ano yung appropriate na deduction for them. And also pag-ibig. Ito yung pag-ibig na walang lugi. So pag-ibig helps employees save and eventually acquire a home. Contributions build a savings fund that members can later use for housing loans with low interest rates. Members can also access multi-purpose loan, calamity loan, and receive assistance in case of death. Um, the major difference between SSS and Pag-ibig is that in terms of retirement, the SSS, you have a pension. Yung Pag-ibig, they don't offer that. But you can get, no, yung contributions mo through lump sum. Okay, so ag-file ka, you get all the contributions na nabigay mo. Okay, of course, with corresponding computation na. So HR ensures correct contributions, assist with loan requirements. Kasi pag mag-loan yan, pupunta sila sa'yo, okay? Particularly in Compensation Administration Division or Department, okay? Kayong mag-facilitate, ano yung mga attachment, i-check mo yung form, kung kompleto ba, okay? Na-fill out ba siya ng maayos, so on and so forth. Yung mga IDs na kailangan din i-submit, you need to check that kasi ikaw, task mo yun. And of course, educate employees about available programs. So to summarize, SSS protects income during retirement, disability, or death, even pension, no? PhilHealth protects against medical expenses. Pag-ibig supports housing and provides emergency financial assistance. So all of these things, they form a competitive safety net for Filipino workers. Okay? So the bottom line here is contributions are shared between employer and employee. Yun nga, para meron kayong safety net in terms of need. Regardless of health man yan, housing man yan, etc. etc. Again, just to reiterate, para wag makalimutan, being a future HR professional, you are not just only processing the papers, the benefit, but at the same time the payroll, but you need to ensure that workers and families are protected through every stage of life. Through correct, accurate, timely na posting ng ating contributions. Okay. So we've covered, no, our mandatory benefits, the legal minimum that all organizations must provide. Now, we shift to voluntary benefit. Again, pag sinabing voluntary, these are only optional, meaning optional rewards that companies strategically choose to offer beyond legal requirement. Okay? So, no itatay, those are non-negotiable because they're mandatory, pero this time, again, optional. Employer's prerogative. So voluntary benefits are not mandated by law, but increasingly they're essential for competitive positioning for your organization. So let us explore now the strategic principle behind why organizations invest in them or invest sa mga ito. So we have strategic purpose one, that is your talent attraction and retention. Again, itong mga terminologies na to is paulit-ulit lang ever since we were able to ever since we are discussing compensation, ito yung mga lumalabas, no? Okay, so at the mandatory benefit baseline, all employers are equal, meaning everyone provides SSS, real health, pag-ibig, and of course the minimum leave. But voluntary benefits differentiate the employer brand. So in a competitive labor market, talented employees receive multiple job offers. They compare not just salary, but of course total compensation package. So voluntary benefits signal genuine care for employee well-being beyond work productivity. Voluntary benefits also get at the emotional connection na, no, that drives employees' choice and long-term loyalty. And so organizations that excels in voluntary benefits attract higher caliber talent and experience low or lower turnover, creating a sustainable competitive advantage. So yan. Another strategic purpose is your inclusion and equity. Of course, it different or it differentiates according to the life stages, family situation, and of course personal priorities required to support or to support these different stages in life. So for example, at a 25-year-old single employee needs different benefits than a 45-year-old parent or an employee caring for aging parents. So dapat as if kaya naman, we need or we can design a benefit wherein flexible dapat yung yun, di ba no, ang kat restaurant kat flexible adult menu. Okay? So you could offer group, a la carte. So as much as possible or as much as we can sana din, no, ganun din yung sana, no, yung design ng benefit natin. Wherein yung tinatawag na flexible benefit menu, where employees choose options matching their circumstances. Okay? Kasi nga hindi naman pare-pareho yung circumstances natin in life and so yun nga, um, a benefit cannot be tawag dito, a benefit ket at nagpada ti yun nga ti need. So agsawali ti benefit nga kayat tayo or need tayo at the moment. Okay? So meaning we can choose options matching our circumstances, and that kung kaya natin gawin yun, then are able to, demonstrate organizational respect for individual differences. Kung kaya lang naman. Okay? So this flexibility ensures our employees, regardless of life situation, find value in the benefit packages na in-offer ng organization. It's not treating everyone identically, it's treating everyone equitably by, of course, supporting the diverse need of the organization. Next is your strategic purpose, number three, which is engagement and productivity. Meaning, holistic employees' wellness, such includes physical, your mental, and financial security, directly impacts work performance and organizational outcomes. So when employees feel supported and when employees feel secure in their well-being, they bring higher discretionary effort, also better decision making, and a greater creativity to work. They are also less absent because yun nga, they feel secure, they feel supported, so all the more that they will perform. And yun nga, committed. So voluntary benefits supporting wellness investments yield measurable productivity gains and reduce turnover costs. And that ang goal naman ng strategy, ang purpose na ito is to support employee well-being in a way that it's strategically positioned for organizations' investment. Okay? Next is your cost effectiveness. Core principle: an organization can leverage scale and vendor partnership to deliver sustainable benefits at a lower or actual cost than if employee purchased individually. So through group negotiations, bulk discounts, and strategic partnership, companies can offer benefit with high perceived value but moderate actual cost. So employees receive significant value, organizations achieve result efficient. So this strategy creates a genuine win-win solution. So high employee satisfaction without proportionally financially burden on the part of the organization. Actually, research from World at Work and SHRM rather, confirms this principle, wherein voluntary benefits often provide high perceived value at relative lower costs. This makes them efficient vehicles for enhancing organizational competitiveness and employee experience simultaneously. Now, these four principles: attraction, equity, engagement, and cost effectiveness explains why organizations invest strategically in voluntary benefit. Again, they are not mandatory, but of course, they are increasingly essential for competitive positioning and employee satisfaction. On that, let's explore the specific types of voluntary benefit organization typically offer. So organizations offer voluntary benefits across six major categories. This go beyond the legal requirement na na-mention natin a while ago, and that this help companies strengthen their employee value propositions. So let us try to look at them one by one. First is health and wellness. This benefit supports employees' physical and mental well-being. Things like if you are familiar with HMO, okay, or HMO upgrades and counseling services. Healthy employees are more productive and of course less absent. Hindi na sila masyadong absenteeism. Example for this is your Netflix. Netflix. I am sure, I am pretty sure that you are familiar with Netflix. So, premium family health insurances, they offer that. Unlimited mental health counseling, and meron pa silang wellness stipends. Okay? For local companies, we have BDO. No, BDO, meron sila HMO for employees and their dependents. Wellness programs, meron din silang mental health support, meron din silang on-site clinic, and madami pang ibang other organizations. BPO, they are into HMO. Another category, we have work-life flexibility. Okay, so these benefits help employees balance work and personal life, such as remote work, flexible hours, and compressed work week. The good thing is, even if nasa bumalik na tayo, so face to face, may mga organizations na they are still into this one. And part of our, sana no, in your final requirement, kasi nga 'di ba total rewards, hopefully meron tayong ganitong design or category doon sa final requirement. Kasi it completes na ron the project. So this category, yung Microsoft, they are into this also. May hybrid setup sila, flexible schedule, unlimited sick leave, and many others. Here, in Gcash, also they have remote and hybrid work. They are also into flexible hours and result-oriented culture. Have also financial and protection, another category. So here, this provides additional financial security beyond government benefit like insurance, emergency fund matching, and financial planning. In Google, life insurance, disability insurance, emergency fund, and financial advisor service ang binibigay nila for their employees. Here, yung SM Prime, meron silang group insurance plans. They have also emergency assistance, retirement planning, and housing loan program. Next is recognition and lifestyle. This benefit rewards good performance and make the work more enjoyable. Example of each or which is your spot bonuses, um, events, perks, and recreational spaces. Like Amazon, they give spot bonuses. They have recognition awards. They have free snacks and recreation area. In Unilever Philippines, they have monthly spot awards, employee celebration, subsidized meals, sports and recreation facility. Fifth is your learning and growth. This benefit supports employee development through tuition fee reimbursement, certification kung gusto mong magkaroon ng, for example, ACPHR, CLDP, or whatever, they could provide you assistance and, of course, training programs. Example ni LinkedIn, they have tuition fee or tuition reimbursement, unlimited LinkedIn learning access, and certification sponsorship. Here in Metro Bank, they have also tuition assistance, banking certification, leadership development program, and many other benefit. And last is your family support. This benefit help employees manage family responsibilities like childcare support, lactation rooms, dependent coverage. In Patagonia, meron silang on-site childcare. Hindi na sila nagwo-worry kung saan iiwan yung mga anak nila kasi meron naman na sila ganitong facility, extended maternity or paternity leave, and lactation room. In Ayala, meron silang childcare allowance, lactation room, dependent healthcare, and scholarship assistance. So again, these categories, no, helps the companies attract talent, improve retention, and at the same time create a supportive workplace culture. The best organizations choose benefit that match their employees' needs and, of course, yung strategic goal ng organization. So, ayun, na na-reach na natin yung 10th slide. So, just to continue with our discussion, let us have a quick recap, no, what we have discussed so far before we proceed with the next slide. So, again, we have mandated benefits, no, from the foundation. They ensure protection and fairness for all employees. Here, we fulfill legal and ethical obligation na na-mention natin, no. As you can see on the screen, we have SSS will help pag-ibig 13-month pay, maternity, paternity, so on and so forth. No? Again, your responsibility is to calculate them correctly, submit on time, and ensure compliance. Here, there's no discretion. These are non-negotiable. For voluntary benefit, it differentiates from the or other organization wherein it enhances engagement and competitiveness. We elevate organizational well-being. We include wellness program, flexible work, learning opportunity, and family support. As HR professional, your responsibility is to design rather strategically align with employee needs and at the same time communicate it effectively. And these are your add-ons, okay, or quote unquote competitive value. So together, mandated and voluntary benefit achieved your three critical outcomes. So we have protection, engagement, and workforce. For protection, employees have security against life uncertainty. For engagement, when employee feels supported and valued through comprehensive benefit, they bring discretionary effort, loyalty, and commitment to their role. For workforce, A protected and engaged workforce is productive, stable, and motivated, in that organizations with strong benefit can retain talent, reduce turnover costs, and build competitive advantage. Ibig sabihin, a well-designed benefit structure drives motivation, loyalty, and long-term workforce performance. This is your strategic mandate as an HR professional. Benefits administration isn't bureaucracy, it's organizational strategy. Okay? Every decision in terms of benefit should impact employee satisfaction. It can also contribute to organizational culture. And of course, the bottom line, your performance. Okay? So now that you understand the complete landscape of employee benefit administration, the strategic objective behind benefits, the government mandated protection, the wage related and leave benefit, your social protection system, voluntary benefit and their value, how benefits drive organizational success. Soon, as you graduate and enter the HR field, remember that benefit administration is a powerful lever for organizational effectiveness and employee well-being, and you need to use it wisely. Now that you know, we completed with the first half of our discussion, let's now shift towards a more strategic perspective on how organizations actually design and, of course, deliver an effective benefit program. So, effective benefits rely on three elements working together. Hindi isa lang sa isang factor lang or element lang kayo magfo-focus and okay na yung iba, hindi gano'n. So, first is design, which determines the right benefit based on employee needs and organizational goals. Communication, it ensures employees understands and appreciate kung ano yung benefit na yan. And management, which ensures benefits are administered fairly, consistently, and sustainability. So let us try to look at them one by one. First is your benefit design. This slide represents or presents the strategic framework for benefit design. When we say benefit design, is the process of organizations follow to decide which benefit to offer. So this is where theory meets practice, and understanding it helps future HR professional design benefits with intention and not guesswork. Step one is your needs assessment. So we begin with needs assessment because you cannot design a meaningful benefit without understanding your people. So how do we understand people? Of course, we need to see our workforce demographics. Okay? So know your employees are, ano yung kailangan mong malaman or ano yung mga kailangan mong malaman? Yung age nila, their life stages, or status, their income, because of course with this it helps you no design appropriate or meaningful benefit na kailangan nila. Another thing is employee preferences. Do not assume, okay? Huwag kang manghula kung ano yung preference nila. Okay? Ang gawin mo, mag-survey ka and focus group discussion so that you'll know ano yung talagang benefit na gusto ng mga employees. Okay? What employees truly value. Another is part of needs assessment is organizational goals also. Align benefit with business priority. Ano yung priority ng organization? Mostly, no, attraction, retention, productivity, and compliance. So, i-base mo kung ano yung need ng employee, tsaka ng ano din yung objective or goal ng organization before ka mag-design. And of course, budget constraints. Okay, kailangan yan. So, design within financial reality and prioritize high impact but at the same time, cost-efficient benefit. So, meron tayong example dyan. on how to or on how we conduct this first step. Next is design portfolio. So after understanding the need, you now craft the actual benefit package. So you need to consider, no, mm, mandatory versus voluntary. Okay, so mandatory sets the minimum, voluntary differentiates the employer. So mabalin man nga combination. Next is fixed and flexible. Choose between a uniform package or a cafeteria style model. Meaning, mix and match ko man. Kaya't mo dito, ay dito ka sa pulang. Dito yung benefit get into dito generation Z, millennials, so on and so forth. So you have the ability to choose, no, which one do you like. Cost allocation, again, decide funding. Ano ba? Employer, employee, or shared. And of course, alignment with values. Benefit must reflect the organization's culture and still their priorities. Okay? And last, you have your implement and monitor. So design is only effective if benefits are communicated, used, and improved. So here we need to track utilization, meaning low usage signals poor design or poor communication. So we need to watch out for that. Okay? Monitor patterns also. Dito trends na. Um, kasi di ba, if you know the trend, you're able to see pattern in connection to the first that time. Kasi you could use that as a signal whether or not your benefit or that particular design of a benefit get um, most usar when saan. We have also evaluate ROI, a return on investment. So it could use, we could measure satisfaction, retention, and cost effectiveness, and adjust regularly. So benefit design is a yearly cycle. It's not a one-time project. If we find it there's problem on the design, then this is the opportunity wherein you're able to make adjustments if necessary so that magamit or magamit in a way that kung ano yung purpose niya. Okay? So strategic benefit design ensures that benefits are relevant, cost-effective, and aligned with organizational goals, turning them into a competitive advantage and a clear expression of company values. Okay? So now that we unlock the design process, let's now look at how to communicate these benefits so employees understand and actually maximize them. So this slide focuses on one of the biggest problems in HR, which is your communication gap. Organizations spend so much on employee benefit, yet many employees don't know this benefit exists, don't understand them, or don't know how to use them. Di ba? At the benefit talaga, ngayon kaslang awan lang kasi di mo i-communicate. It's like having a treasure chest, but nobody knows where it is. Isang kasyay kat nagmadimat, ay sayang mo yung benefit no, ante nga ma-implement or hante ma-enjoy. So the key idea is simple. A benefit employees don't know about might as well not exist. Okay? Again, a benefit employees don't know yet it doesn't exist. Okay? So for example, a company invests 500,000 in mental health counseling, but only 2% use it because most employees would never inform. So the problem isn't the benefit, it's the communication. Hindi na-inform yung mga employees and so they were not able to enjoy this benefit. No? We also highlight that there is a 40% problem, no? Excuse me. Around 40% of employees underestimate the value of their total benefit. Okay, so for example, take Maria. An employee receiving 30,000 annual benefit, they only get salary plus 13-month pay. Pero yung other benefits na um, entitled naman siya, was able to miss it out because simply hindi na-explain sa kanya ng maayos. So, sayang naman yung opportunity or benefit niyan. So, these consequences, employees feel underpaid and undervalued, and that organizations waste money on those unused benefit. Okay, nag-invest nga ang employer or the organization, the management, and because of communication gap, they're not able to maximize it. So, it turns out na employees they have a low satisfaction nga kasi feeling nila walang benefit na binibigay sa kanila. So, communication isn't optional dapat. It's important as when we design benefit. So, the first solution is total compensation transparency. No? Give employees a clear annual statement showing everything that the company invests in them. Tap no, they are able to maximize it and use it. No? Second is multi-channel communication. Use handbooks for details. For sure, meron naman to. No? A matter of reorientation siguro, no? Dissemination again. Emails for quick reminders, webinars for explanation, and one-on-one sessions for personal concern. I think here we could maximize no during onboarding, particularly in orientation, that dito natin i-present lahat ng mga information. When we offer them the job, okay, explain mo na dito, okay? And of course, different channels pa, ano pa ba? That could reach everyone, po pwede. Or one-on-one sessions, po pwede. Third is clear, simple language. No HR jargon kasi pag gumamit ka ng mga ganyang language, kayo lang na HR nakakaalam. Eh, hindi naman HR lahat ng mga employees mo, no? So, you need to make sure that you use words that fits or fit sa kinakausap mo. So, if a teenager would understand it, simply say it in a way that they could understand it. Ang lalagiti older employee in the organization do not use new words or language rather para magkaintindihan din tayo. Timing also matters. Okay? The best moments to communicate benefits are, yun nga, sinabi ko, during the onboarding or the annual enrollment. So when employees make decisions and pay attention. Okay? Also, we also communicate during life events and promotions and policy change. Policy change. Involve mo sila. Kasi sila naman yung mag-enjoy ng benefit. Okay, so when we combine transparency, multiple channel, simple language, and the right timing, invisible benefits become visible value. Employees feel appreciated and they actually use what the organization invests in them. So great benefits communicated poorly will fail. Even simple benefits communicated well can boost satisfaction, engagement, and retention. So again, as future HR professionals, your job is not just to administer benefit, but to make sure employees understand and feel them. Okay? So let us now go to the final part on how to manage benefits operationally to ensure smooth delivery and employee satisfaction. So here is the final operational slide that ties everything together. So after learning how to design, how to communicate the benefit, we now focus on the execution side. So equally important pa din to, no? So many organizations fail not in strategy but dito in operation. So benefits look perfect on paper but delays the error na, the confusion na. And so it hurts the employee's experience. So again, as HR professionals, your effectiveness will depend heavily on how you manage these processes. First is your enrollment. The first element is open enrollment, the annual window when employee choose or update their benefit. So you need to announce. Okay? Here in announcement, HR communicates what's new, ano yung mga nabago, and how do you enroll them. So the goal here is simple. No one should miss the window because they didn't know. Nagmadi nga rason, ay di mi am mo. Okay? Apayan ka nag-file, apayan ka nag-press, di mi am mo. So enrollment period, employees review options and ask questions wherein HR supports them through emails, yung mga frequently asked questions, webinars, and one-on-one help. And then, confirmation. Here, HR checks for errors and incomplete submissions so every employee ends with a clean and valid enrollment. And then we process. Processing means HR finalize data with vendors, adjust payroll deductions, and confirm benefits regardless of your timeline. And that open enrollment is a 1 month long project, but it sets the tone for the entire benefit per year or depende on how the organization will do that. Kasi kanya-kanya naman yun. And then element two is ongoing support. Here, helping employees all year, not only during the enrollment. Okay, na-enroll mo na, o tapos na. Hindi ganun. So there should be tools that you need to consider such as help desk or hotline. So if there are questions, meron silang um, avenue for them to ask questions, no? At yung pag nagtanong sila, dapat meron ding immediate answer. We have also benefit counselor for guidance. So for complex situation like medical emergency or family changes, dapat again, merong quick support na ma-provide. And your self-service resources such as your frequently asked question, guides and portals for 24/7 answer. So here, it creates three tier support system. Tier 1 is self-service, Tier 2 is helpline. Kung hindi nasagot sa self-service, pwedeng helpline, and third tier is your counseling. Next element is compliance and administration. Okay? So this will be your silent backbone. So here, HR must ensure there is an accurate payroll deductions every month, timely submissions to secure or to ensure SSS will help Pag-ibig and other providers, proper records for audit and future references. When this works well, no one notices. When it fails, everyone feels it. Okay. Last is your feedback and continuous improvement. Here, benefits should evolve every year. Meaning we conduct survey and utilize utilization data. We identify underused benefits and find out why. Improve program based on feedback and communicate changes so employees know their input. Um, they inform that they know if there are changes, makapagbigay sila ng input, comment, suggestion. Kasi after all, sila yung gagamit ng benefit niya. So a year cycle of review, update, and communicate keeps benefit relevant and appreciated. So leaders may decide the benefits, but HR ensures employees can enroll correctly, receive support, experience accurate administration, and benefit from ongoing improvements. When these four elements are handled well, the program becomes trusted, effective, and truly meaningful. All right. So we are now in the last slides. Right, as you can see, benefits only succeeded when three elements work together. So design plus communication plus management is of course competitive advantage. So again, in design, um, we need to decide which benefit to offer, align them with organizational goals, and use the budget wisely. For communication, make sure employees truly understand clearly kung ano yung mga benefits nila that they are entitled, see their value, and feel appreciated. And of course, management, or that is your execution. So run enrollment smoothly, provide support, keep records accurately, and improve the program over time. And when we integrate them, benefits supports business goals, employees understand the value, and the program delivers the real return of investment. So money is wasted on underused benefit. So we need to watch out for that. Ano pa ba? Employees feel under-rewarded and the employee loses its edge in attracting and retaining talent if there is an integration or failure of integration. So when all three benefits again, you will reap the ROI. So again, as future HR professionals, your role is to design thoughtfully, communicate clearly, and execute flawlessly. When you integrate all three, benefits stop being just cost and it become now your strategic tool that supports your people and drive organization into success. And that's it. That's how we're able to design, execute, implement our compensation to our employees. On that note, thank you so much for your time. I do hope that you're able to get lessons from it, and I do hope that you will able to implement that in the future. So again, thank you and good day.